Hey YouTube, what's up? Pogiforce here, bringing you another video duel. This time between Garrett Ward and Nathan Bond. Garrett's on the left with the Magic mat, and Nathan is on the right with the Kaijudo Finalists mat. Um, Master Challenge mat. My bad. Um, Garrett, this is a mirror match. Garrett with a Blurple deck, and Nathan with a Blurple deck. This was not part of the actual tournament, but this was a free play match after the fact. Garrett has been running Blurple lately because it's a good budget deck, and as one of our new players, he doesn't really have that collection yet. Nathan decided to build Blurple because he was discouraged with how Harold performed today. So they thought having a mirror match, since it's been a while since we've seen a Blurple Mirror, would be interesting. He recorded this for his channel as well, so keep an eye out for that on Rambo Scoob 333. His version is using raw audio. I'm voicing over the raw audio here with my commentary. This was actually a very good match, and keep your eyes open. You might learn a thing or two. So I think Garrett won the dice roll, so he gets to go first. Also, during this video, you may not be able to hear it, but we did have a guy off screen who was asking questions about the game and seemed very interested in learning how to play. We've actually had a fair number of new players, not just Garrett and Robert and Michael and James and all of the new players we've had for about a month or two now, but some even newer than that in the last week or two. So they're explaining how shields work to this guy right now. Alright, so he plays Fumes and Mana. It's now Nathan's turn. Starting out with that Cyber Sprite, Garrett throws out Gigabolver, which is a bit surprising. Most people usually hold the Gigabolvers till they have the Medusas. It's a bit unusual that he's throwing it out there already. Um, Nathan responds with the Cyber Trader. So Garrett's got 3 mana. Nathan's got 2. He's got the turn 3 Neuron. He's in a good way, but he doesn't, and he logo scans instead. Probably digging for the turn 3 Neuron. They're explaining a little bit how mana works to the guy off screen. And he decides to go ahead and take a shield with that Cyber Trader. He's not too worried about that Gigabolver. And Garrett responds with a Bone Blades, getting rid of the Cyber Trader. Before this match had started, Nathan had mentioned a time when Cyber Trader stole 4 shields in an old match of his. And I think Garrett was worried Nathan might do that in this match, so he wanted to take care of that Cyber Trader before it could do a whole lot of damage. So he's got a Gigabolver of his own, probably setting up for the turn 5 Hydra Medusa. Unfortunately, here he makes the mistake of using Medusa on the wrong creature. Don't know why he was so worried about Cyber Sprite, since Medusa is a lot more threatening than Neuron. Neuron has to bump, Medusa does not. There's the turn 5 Medusa. Kills his Medusa and then breaks the shield. And Garrett's still thinking about what he's going to do. Throws out a Cyber Trader. Tosses the Rusalka. Still has 4 mana left over. And I think he passes at this point. Or just fiddles with his card while he thinks about whether or not he can do anything. Yeah, he passes. There we go. Nathan rubbing dirt off the back of his sleeve.
So there is a card limit. It's just like ridiculous if you want to play with your entire library. You have a stack about that tall.
I'll charge the Emperor Neuron. Tap 6. Puppet.
Puppet. So he gets to take a look at Garrett's hand and pick one card and make him discard it.
You can get rid of the Hydra Medusa.
I think the options were Terra Pit and Hydra Medusa, and he chose the Hydra Medusa.
You're dead then. You're quite
Pretty much.
And I'm coming in.
Or Death Smoke and Hydra Medusa, one or the other.
Go ahead. Dendrite is even a bad play for him right now.
Anything. Well, actually, no, because I just not trigger and kill it.
Yeah, he can just swing over it. It just means he doesn't get to use it for its effect, in which case Axum would be the better card.
Garrett thinking long and hard about his moves.
Gigabolver, huh? Gigastand.
Plays the Giga Stand and swings in with Cyber Trader.
That's fine.
Probably not the smartest move he makes.
Really don't have any smart plays at this point, and it's just having.
Nathan coming in with the Dark Scaredorable. Aiming to finish this right now. And he does. Game 1 goes to Nathan. Few misplays on Garrett's part. Not taking proper precautions, setting up for the Medusa. This is why we do these videos, guys. So that way you can look back. I especially like watching videos where I played in them because I get to look back and from a different perspective, third person point of view, I can see what I did and think about how that could have been done differently. Because one of the things about Kaijudo is that it's a little more skillful than most other card games in my opinion because you have to plan ahead, try to read your opponent, think about what you're going to do, what you intend to do, whether or not it's a good idea to do it. And basically you have to make those choices and then you have to live with those choices. And in the end of the day, you could have the exact same deck and still lose because you made the wrong choices. Garrett made the wrong choice when it came to that Hydra Medusa and which creature he was going to banish. And it probably, maybe by itself, it didn't cost him the game, but it was a contributing factor.
The turn that he Medusa, when he broke the shield, that shield was the.
So they're setting up, shuffling up for the second game.
That's why I didn't get a chance to use it. I wanted to use it. And it'll be your choice again.
Go ahead.
Charge the logos, play the cyber sprite.
Yep.
Good. Charge again, Bolver, go.
So, third turn in, Garrett's got himself a
Go.
Aqua Seneschal versus Nathan's Giga Stand and Cyber Sprite. And he evolves it straight into Emperor Axon, trying to keep up the early aggression. Goes in for the double break.
Double break.
So does the value. As close to that. As close
Nathan
to
thinking
that.
about whether or not he wants to let it happen. He decides he does. No blasts, unfortunately.
He knows he's gonna start losing cards in his hand anyway, so he might as well just go in. Charge Skull Shatter.
So straight into the Neuron.
It is. Break shield, I draw a card. Okay.
Takes 2 shields. Forces him to discard.
Good. He discarded it and got it right back. Yeah, probably. This is what's called having a bad poker face.
Alright, now here I admit he makes a pretty smart move. Because we're like, you can only get rid of one of them. And he decides he's got a better idea.
You have to decide which hurts you more, him drawing more cards or him making you
And with
Bounce.
that, he can get rid of both. Attack 1, banish the, bounce the other.
take care of both options at once.
I have my moments.
No one said you didn't. Digicel is a good play.
Yep.
Tap 3. Kickstand.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Though here, I think he might be making another mistake because you'll see in just a second.
That's funny. Bounce it.
He evolves it again to bounce it again.
I'm fine with that.
Double break.
And I don't. And considering that he had the death smoke in his hand, I saw it. I don't understand why he didn't just death smoke it instead and hold the Emperor
Yep.
Dendrite for a future evolution. Because right now all of his evolutions are stacked on one card. So when he throws that Medusa down,
Break that
he
shield.
just lost 2 Dendrite and 1 Accent all in one go.
Stacking all your evolutions on the same
See,
guy.
just there, he drew an Aqua Seneschal.
One basket, so to speak.
He could have had.
Good.
He would have been able to do
Kind of funny that
Dendrite
you
in a
went
turn or
into
two.
a mirror match and you didn't spec the screeching
You know,
scale.
in the end, it's okay.
I could have. I chose not to.
I like to think of it as token.
Garrett's still in a particularly good position.
Hitting.
Throws out a Gloom Hollow
Love Blue Hollow.
and a Giga Stand.
Stand.
So he hits a shield, and it's a Terrapit, so he Terrapits the Hydra Medusa.
My turn.
Yes.
Nearly picks up his. He does pick up, and look at his last card.
Did you just pick up your shield?
Kinda cheating.
Yeah.
He said he didn't see it. Nathan said he didn't see it, but I'm pretty sure he saw it. Especially with how he behaves for the remainder of this game. He's not scared. So he's going to Bone Blades. No, Death Smoke. The Gloom Hollow. Then attack with the Seneschal to break last shield and draw a card.
Unless that last shield is a total lifesaver.
Depends on what he has.
Well, yeah, he's got a fistful of cards. I don't know if that's good.
No, it's not.
Breaking shield is never good unless you can actually win the turn.
Nathan deciding what he wants to do.
You might have been pushing a little too aggressive with a deck that's supposed to be tempo.
Yeah.
Granted, still has heat because you both are just like, push it all in.
And he evolves it.
Just to kill it.
Banish the Seneschal.
Cyber Sprite.
And he's going to break last shield. See, he didn't even look. He knew it was a
Did
Terrapit.
see it.
Yes, I did.
And it's a good thing he decided to play that safe. Or
He
would
knew it.
Yep.
Peeking at cards, you little cheater. I'm just messing with him. Some people have done that before, especially players who come from a Magic background or a Yu-Gi-Oh background. I've seen them look at their shields thinking it's their backboard in Yu-Gi-Oh and making a mistake. But that's an important mistake you need to learn to avoid doing, because especially in big events. Fortunately, this was free play, so it doesn't hurt anything. But in major events, that can cost you games and matches and losses. So he's got the bigger board right here. And Nathan kind of just hoping that Cyber Sprite can hold down the fort. Unfortunately, it can't. So Garrett gets
Garrett's.
game 2. Moving on to game 3.
Terrapits and shields helps.
Yeah, it does.
Next 3 cards.
Two terrapins and shield? Three terrapins and shield.
That's not always a good thing.
Played that a little better.
Um,
Only mistake on Garrett's part
Once of
would be, in my opinion, playing the Dendrite on a Dendrite.
two barrage
But
and 2 root tracks. We've seen it.
that was Garrett's game. Nathan didn't make any misplays near as I can tell. Really, he was just unfortunate that Garrett had 2 Terrapits and shields.
bottle.
Otherwise, that would have been his.
Stormstar Blast.
Tap all your guys, kill one of your guys, and I'm going to randomly pick something out of my deck and
What
play.
did you get off the bottle?
I think I got what
Something small. Umbra.
You got Umbra. It's kind of funny because I haven't actually seen Nick pull a dragon off a bottle lately.
And he's still been winning games.
He got a leer off of it in one of our games. He didn't get it off on any games with me, thank God. I didn't have to worry about crazy dragons.
the only thing Nathan
Plenty of
I didn't
words.
think I'd be saying this for a while, but you're on the play, sir.
Really? You're gonna... Oh, wait. I get to choose. That's right.
So going into game 3, that means Nathan's going first. Throws a Terrapit down there. Garrett throws down a Hydra Medusa.
Can't block and they're vulnerable to attacks.
Skull Shatter. Accent for Trader. Draws 1, discards 1.
I don't mind. You can do that if you want.
I almost always do that.
Dark Scare Adorable
You behave like it's a...
for Giga Stand.
Unless you can get rid of it right now, and I don't think you can. Are you even running blockers?
I have blockers, just none that I can use right now.
I haven't seen you play any.
I haven't played some. I have a Gloom Hollow, 3 of the Cyber Sprites.
I traded my extra Gloom Hollow to
Don't
buy
actually know why he put the accent down
That's all.
when he's got the dendrite in his hand. He could have put that down instead and held the accent, since accent comes one turn sooner. Get that early aggression in and put Nathan on the defensive. It seems like it would be a good idea. But instead, he put the accent down. So he puts the logos down this turn and plays the seneschal.
Gloom Hollow.
Nathan defending himself with the Gloom Hollow, breaks a shield. Turns out it's a Terror Pit,
Adorable.
so the Gloom Hollow didn't get to do much.
I will waste a Terra Pit on a Scared Adorable.
It's not a waste, especially if you got the evolution to kill the Giga Sand. You don't.
Garrett trying to conserve his board
I
position.
don't know what your hand is. You got 3 cards.
Puts down the Dendrite, uses Bone Blades instead of attacking it directly with the Seneschal, and breaks shield with Seneschal instead to draw a card. It's a Bone Blades. Nathan gets rid of that Cyber Trader before it can attack.
Go ahead.
So far, both players have gotten one shield blast, so both players seem to have fairly decent shields.
On the other hand, that actually is pretty good for you because that means he's got no plays to make.
Going 2 for the Trader.
Actually, if you're interested in learning to play, they have free
Discards
generators
a
for
Medusa. He seems to be
before decking them.
not caring that much about Medusa here.
There should be plenty left.
That may lead to his downfall. He's throwing away all his Medusas.
For Kaijudo.
One to mana zone, one to the discard pile.
Charging to
One and oh, puppet. I saw him tap 6 mana. So he's puppeting. He's gonna pick a card out. He's got a choice between Rusalka and Sprite.
But yeah, and then there's they have 5 different generators to choose from.
One for Sprite
So that way you at least have something to start with.
and 4 for Axon. He's in a position to potentially win here.
Just going all in. You need some blast.
But he hits a Terra Pit, so there goes the Aqua Seneschal.
That's a good pick though.
Garrett decides to go for last shield anyway. And it's a Bone Blades. Hits the Emperor Axon. Bad news for Garrett, unfortunately.
Swing out.
Apparently Nathan had 3 blasts, 2 Bone Blades and a Terra Pit down into shields. Garrett so far has only had 1 blast, but now he's kind of burnt out. He's just going to have to top deck the rest of his cards here.
Garrett was going in hard.
He's got 5 mana,
Back to back. That hurts.
6.
He was set to win, and then boom, 2 shield
Yeah.
blasts. Go.
So there's a Cyber Sprite. Hoping for an evolution at this point, I'm thinking. And Nathan's going to get rid of it. Right now, Nathan's not attacking because he doesn't want to give Garrett the evolution. That would win him the game.
Garrett's aggressive.
Garrett's going to play that Seneschal. He's going to force Nathan to continue to block
Just waiting for him
to kill his creatures. Try to keep him on the defensive here, even as Garrett is top decking. And he's trying to decide whether or not he wants to go in or do something
On the
else.
other hand, if he gives him the evolution, he loses.
Yeah.
This is game 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think in the end, he decides it's better to play it defensively,
That's why I keep fluffing
since he has no shields. If Garrett gets
Just build up his defenses right
a
now.
creature
This is why I keep.
that can attack,
Play them
he loses.
and wait
So-
till he's got a board to do some serious damage.
Gonna play the Fumes, force him to discard.
He doesn't have many of the evolutions.
He's not going to evolve his cyber
And he's gonna Terra Pit the Fumes. Like I said, he's making sure he keeps Garrett off of a field.
So this
Garrett
is
draws,
Wanna guess?
and he passed. So I'm guessing it's a evolution, probably Dendrite.
Understand?
One accent scene play, one's in the mana zone. Looks like Dendrite from what I can see here. But he plays Rusalka, bounces the Giga Stand.
This is a really close game.
I'm just
Bit surprised by that, personally. But I suppose bouncing the Cyber Sprite wouldn't have bothered too much. So he Death Smokes the Rusalka, and then he plays another Giga Stand.
Garrett's hoping to top some.
Now this is where I think Garrett makes a crucial mistake.
You're adorable.
No, not here.
Herm Herrer.
Gloom Hollow. He does, eventually,
Wow.
because I'd seen this through once already. Bone Blades, getting rid of the Gloom Hollow. Still waiting. Now he makes the crucial mistake. He draws, and rather than ditching the Dendrite in his hand and playing the Rusalka to bounce the blocker,
The Resalton had two creatures on board.
um,
True.
he just tosses the Rusalka, which means he now doesn't have the creature presence on board.
Game.
Especially since he saw that he had the Giga Stand. That was a terrible misplay on Garrett's part. Should have played that Rusalka. And now it's going to cost him game because he cannot get to his board fast enough. Nathan's aiming to win this right now.
Had the Resalka, you would have won.
Yeah.
Charge the Giga Bulver.
Well, if he has a remover spell, he doesn't. If he doesn't have a remover,
Oh, I see.
Involving the Sprite to the unblockable Neuron. And then Dark Scared Orbital to instantly break a shield. Giga Stand's going to discard the card.
Remember that Neuron is unblockable.
Needs to be a blast to deal with the Neuron, and it's not. So he swings with Neuron for game. Nathan takes the match. Garrett was just a little too obsessed with Dendrite there. Game 1, stacking all his Dendrites when he could have played the Death Smoke instead. Game 3 cost him the match because he was holding on to the Dendrite he couldn't use instead of playing the Fumes. You know, that's all part of learning, trying to get better at the game. He did take a game. Garrett is a fairly promising duelist. He just needs to take a look at the bigger picture a little more often. But
except for the one
I
time.
suppose that's it for now, YouTube. Thank you for watching. Like, favorite, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos, and I will see you later.